In today's video, I want to take you guys through the deal of the week that's available right now in the PlayStation Store, and it's a really good one, so you definitely want to know about that. Also, there are a plethora of great PlayStation 4 game deals available right now on the physical end of things as well, so we'll take you guys through that, and we have a variety of different updates on 2 PlayStation 4 games. Smaller titles, but games you should still be aware of. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And I do want to start things off with the PlayStation Store's deal of the week. We have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition. Now, this is a great buy right now, being 70% off for $17.99. This is really the version of Shadow of the Tomb Raider that you want to get. I know that the base version of SOTR is going to be a little bit cheaper, but this version gives you all of the additional content. And really, I was complaining about it from the get-go when SOTR was announced. Not to toot my own horny here, I did say that the game had way too much DLC, and it turned out, yeah, the game had way too much DLC, and commercially, SOTR didn't even do that well, and I remember I got some flack for giving out that opinion back in 2018 when Shadow of the Tomb Raider was coming out, but hey, look how things have turned out. But nonetheless, now you can get the Definitive Edition for relatively cheap at $18. I think it's a really good buy. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition, includes all available content to the date. Experience Shadow of the Tomb Raider featuring the final chapter of Lara Croft's origin story, the season pass containing multiple challenge tunes, missions, weapons, and outfits. You also get the bonuses from the Croft Edition, the all-new Definitive Edition cross fitness outfit, and additional gameplay adjustments as well. So all of that content in one game for $18 I think is great, in one package I should say. There is a free demo available if you're not completely sold on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I often said I don't think this is the best game in the Tomb Raider franchise since the reboot. I think Rise of the Tomb Raider does take the cake. However, Shadow of the Tomb Raider really does give you a lot of variety in the gameplay options. They've got a lot of difficulty setting options that I really liked, and I hope other games also implement what SOTR did. There were some issues with the narrative, but are you really going into Tomb Raider for an incredibly compelling narrative? Probably not. Sometimes the story is pretty good in Tomb Raider, actually. Rise of the Tomb Raider story was relatively decent, but for $18 you do get quite a good game here, and I would recommend it. I should also note that if you guys already have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the base game, you can buy the Definitive Edition extra content for $5.99. The DLC unlocks all of the Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition content. That'll have you experience the last chapter of Lara's story, as I noted before, but $18 for the game and all of the DLC I would say is rather good, given that, you know, initially back in 2018, I believe, when it came out, you were paying $60, then like $25 for the season pass, then you were talking about all of the other content too. It was a lot of money to spend on a single player game. But now for 18 bucks, a much more palatable pickup. Alright, some other deals I do want to cover real quickly. Control is available at GameStop for $29.99. This actually might be an MSRP drop for the game. I am not completely sure, but I believe it is. And Control, of course, done by Remedy Games, published by 505. It was a great game, in my opinion, one of the most underrated games of 2019. I thought it was excellent. Obviously, from a narrative standpoint, it's incredibly strong. That's what you expect out of a Remedy game. But what was really surprising about Control was from a gameplay standpoint. The gameplay was absolutely excellent. It was exhilarating, it was fast-paced. I can't say enough good things about the game from a gameplay side of things. $29.99 is a great price. I understand why so many people were a little bit hesitant and skeptical about picking up, you know, a 10 to 15 hour game for a full $60, but at $30, it's a much better buy. However, it should be noted that there are rumblings about a PlayStation 5 Definitive Edition that are going on right now, so if you're gonna pick up the PS5 and you can wait a little bit longer, it might end up paying dividends to wait until that, because there is some notable DLC content out for the game as well, and you would imagine that if they do a Definitive Edition on the PlayStation 5, they would include the DLC as well, so that's something to consider. Control is a game that technically is impressive as all hell. However, on the PlayStation 5, those technical abilities would be accentuated even more. But for $29.99, I think the game on the PS4 is quite a good buy right now. Alright, next up we have Kingdom Hearts. The story so far, it is down to $19.99, and let me vent for a little second. Next month we have the release of the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one collection, I should say. That essentially includes all of the content in Kingdom Hearts The Story so far and Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, you don't get the Remind DLC, and Kingdom Hearts The Story so far here is $19.99. Kingdom Hearts 3, you can readily find that under $20. It's $20 right now at GameStop, so why is the all-in-one collection coming at $60? I'll never know, but nonetheless, The story so far includes Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8, all of the content that you really need to get going before you jump into Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's quite the expansive set of JRPGs. Kingdom Hearts 1 is awesome. You got Chain of Memories in there, you've got Kingdom Hearts 2 in there, you've got Birth by Sleep, you've got cinematics from a variety of other different games, and then 2.8, of course, includes Dream Drop Distance and its own smaller story as well. For $19.99 for all of the content that you're getting, yes, some of it is a little bit dated, given the fact that we're going back to 2002 with Kingdom Hearts 1, but these games are so nostalgic to me, and I would imagine for a lot of other people. So whether you dropped off with the franchise for a while and you're looking to reinvest yourself into it, or you're looking to get into it for the first time, the story so far is a great starting point. Next up, we've got Mortal Kombat 11. That's down to $25, which is a relatively decent deal. Mortal Kombat 11 is a really great game. And if you do buy the game right now, over on GameStop, they're running a tax sale. Get 40% off the Mortal Kombat 11 Combat Pack with the purchase of Mortal Kombat 11. Obviously, the MO with fighting games now is to get you to buy the game for $60, and then they're going to sell you a bunch of season passes, character passes, whatever the case may be. Mortal Kombat 11 is no different in that regard. Fundamentally, it is a pretty good game, and if you're looking for a quality fighter, MK11 will definitely fit that bill. NieR Automata Game of the YoRHa Edition is available for $25 over on Best Buy. So the Game of the YoRHa Edition isn't adding any substantial content. Really, the best thing about re-releasing NieR Automata in the form of the Game of the YoRHa Edition was the fact that they were finally knocking down the MSRP of the game from $59.99 to $39.99, so that means when the game would go on sale, we would get a more compelling price point, and that's exactly what we have here. For $24.99 to get a physical copy of NieR Automata, that's pretty good, and in my opinion, one of maybe the best JRPG this generation. That might be going a little bit far given that Persona 5 is a game, but definitely among the top 3 to 5, and I don't really think you can make an argument in that regard. Gameplay is obviously excellent from Platinum Games, that stylish, fast-paced gameplay you know and love from them. Music is outstanding as well, and the visuals are great. The story is a little bit jumbled at first, but by the end of it, it really all comes together, and for $25, I think it's a great buy right now. Alright, a couple of other deals. These are from Amazon. Dishonored 2 is down to just $9.18 for a physical copy. That is absolutely insane. Dishonored 2 is a great game. A much better game than Dishonored 1, although Dishonored 1 was a very good game as well, and if you have the opportunity to pick up the definitive edition of the first game, I would highly recommend you to do so, but Dishonored 2 definitely adds a lot of variety to the gameplay. You've got 2 separate playable characters that generally, the single-player campaign for both of them are relatively similar. However, differences are there where it's worthwhile to go through both playthroughs, and the game is so engaging, and there's variety in the gameplay where multiple playthroughs are enjoyable just inherently, and then you add in more multiple characters, that's just gonna doubly so that factor. Gameplay is great, art style is fantastic, really love the Dishonored art style. Hopefully they make a Dishonored 3 at some point, but nonetheless, Dishonored 2 was a great game, and for $9.18, it is a steal. And then lastly, we have Middle-earth Shadow of War, the definitive edition. That is down to $11.49 for all of the content with Middle-earth Shadow of War. The base game includes all DLC, Slaughter Tribe Nemesis expansion, Outlaw Tribe Nemesis expansion, Blade of Galdariel story expansion, and Desolation of Mordor story expansion. Nemesis expansion includes a new Orc tribe featuring new enemies, followers, missions, abilities, weapons, fortresses, wilderness updates, and a legendary gear set. Story expansions introduce a new campaign, playable character and abilities, side missions, enemies, allies, and more. A lot of content for your $11.50, so definitely would recommend that. So those are all of the deals available right now. SOTR is the weekly deal on PSN, and then you've got a litany of other physical deals as well, so really good stuff there. Lastly, I do want to cover 2 things real quickly, 2 video game updates on the PS4. Insurgency Sandstorm is now scheduled for a release on August 27th on consoles. The console market has been craving a hardcore modern-day tactical shooter for a long time. Expanding our tried and tested PC formula to the console market is a huge step in our company's evolution, and we're excited to bring out our signature style of tactical FPS to the console market for the very first time. Insurgency Sandstorm was relatively well received on PC. I had a great time with it. However, if you're going into it, do not expect a run-and-gun shooter like a Call of Duty or anything like that. This is a more realistic, tactical shooter that does require a lot of cooperation, so bear that in mind, but the game is really good, and if you can jump in with a couple of friends come August 27th, you're gonna have a great time with it. And lastly, I do want to know that Those Who Remain launches May 15th for PlayStation 4. The psychological horror game will be coming to Sony's console, and it notes, as the lights lights go out, the embers of darkness are stoked in the sleepy town of Dormont. Whispers of disappearances carry through the town as a burgeoning, uneasy, and irrational fear begins to spread, and darkness comes to be an unwelcome reflection to those who remain. Some mistakes should never happen, not when your life is complete, and yet they do. Edward had the good life, a beautiful wife, and the perfect little girl, yet finds himself several whiskeys down and driving through the night of Dormont to end his secret affair in a bid to fix his mistake. The game notes darkness has eyes, navigate and survive the encroaching darkness and stay in the protection of the light by any means necessary. A world torn asunder, pave your way ahead by moving between Dormont and its dark, otherworldly counterpart to further solve the mysteries held within the dark. Conscious of choice, choose to help any surviving citizen of Dormont you encounter or leave them to the darkness. Innocence cannot always be assumed, and the township of Dormont hides a cursed trove of secrets. Savor your sanity, keep your sanity in check as you delve deeper into the darkness of the world. Expected rules of the real world have been torn apart, and follow your path. Your decisions and choices will determine the fate of Edward through multiple different branching outcomes. So that'll be coming on May 15th, a horror game, and a psychological one at that for those of you guys that are into games like that. And that's gonna conclude this video, again, with a variety of different deals available right now. A lot of stuff for you guys to check out. Insurgency Sandstorm will be coming August 27th, and Those Who Remain hits the PlayStation 4 on May 15th for those of you looking for a compelling horror title. That's gonna wrap up this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.